What's up, and welcome back again to Research Fantasy presents our bargain bin for Friday, March 31st, 2017. Last night, overall, was a fairly good night for the bargain bin. Jamal Crawford hit literally exactly 5x value on DraftKings with 19.5 points. Really expected him to finish around the 25-point mark, but I'm not overly disappointed in that outing. Who I am disappointed in is Larry Nance Jr., who seemed like a very strong fit for this matchup, number one. Number two, saw extra opportunity when Ivica Zubac suffered a high ankle sprain in the first quarter and did not return, but just pissed his opportunities away. And you got to take it all in kind of like a bubble. 2 for 6 shooting. That's not getting up a ton of shots, but he only had 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a turnover. Had a very bad plus minus as well. That doesn't relate to fantasy, but it just, I think that's something the coaches do look at because you don't want guys on the floor who are going to give up a ton of points. And then Chris Dunn did what we thought he was going to do at his price. As long as he produced over 20 fantasy points, we felt just fine about things. Tonight, obviously, more games equals more opportunities. I know that some of the players on this list aren't exactly going to be very popular in ownership, and when you see the names, I know the inclination is going to be there to hit the little thumb down, and I get it. But DFS is not always about picking the sexiest guys. You have to look for guys who are in a position to be a little crafty. I think the tournament portion of my videos, I was more chalky in just because I think those guys have such a high probability of hitting their value threshold that it just makes sense to put them in. I'm going to go a little more contrarian, and hopefully you don't think it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid. I think there's definitely some risk involved anytime you're paying for guys in this price range, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to start out with who I think will probably be the most disliked pick on this video, and that's Tony Parker. 7,400 fantasy draft, 37 FanDuel, 38 DraftKings. I mean, I get it. It's Tony Parker, not a very good basketball player in terms of what we are used to seeing out of him. Matchup is neutral. Pace is up. I think something just tells me that this is a game where he ends up putting his best foot forward. He's going to be used better to facilitate guys like Kawhi and LaMarcus into position where they can score. Main reason I like him is because I think he could hit 6x value tonight. He's 3,800, so we're literally talking about a situation where we need like 22 fantasy points, 23 fantasy points for that to take place. I think that's well within reason. I'm not overloading him, but I am going to have some exposure to him because if he gets going, which we haven't seen him do a lot, but if he gets going, there is still an upside at this price for 30 fantasy points. Now, that's like 7, that's 8x value. We're talking a whole different spectrum here. That really helps your lineups vault, and you're guaranteed very low ownership on Tony Parker because no one is going to want to put him in their lineup, but I think there is at least some merit to it. Next up, let's look at Brandan Wright, center of the Memphis Grizzlies, 6,700 FanDuel, 6,700 fantasy draft, 36 FanDuel, 34 DraftKings, 100% contingent on Marc Gasol. It doesn't sound like the injury is improving, so I think that they're more comfortable putting Wright in the starting lineup and running Zach Randolph off the bench. Randolph's price has now got to a point where even if he's starting and seeing 5 extra minutes, I don't feel comfortable spending $6,700 on Zach Randolph. I do feel comfortable spending $3,400 on Brandan Wright, who needs, again, like 19 points to hit 6x value, 20 points to hit 6x value. I'm fine with taking that risk tonight. It's a decent matchup against Dallas. I don't think that even Nerlens Noel is really that threatening to me. So I'll have some ownership on him tonight. I'm not expecting anything big. I don't think he even has a ceiling really of Tony Parker, but I think that he's got a really safe floor if he's seeing 23 to 25 minutes. My favorite tournament play on the night is a guy that I think will go really overlooked because of how Dwayne Casey is using him right now. But the matchup is perfect, the price is perfect, and that's Jonas Valancunias, center of the Toronto Raptors, 10-2 on Fantasy Draft, 5,500 FanDuel, 5,200 DraftKings. I'm always going to gravitate toward a guy in a matchup with Miles Turner. Jonas is not that bad, and he's shown that if he's getting 28 minutes, he could still put up 40-point fantasy games. You're probably going to get some blocks. You're going to get some rebounds. You're going to get some points. You know, he needs 25 to 30 to pay off for you. If he sees 25 minutes, that is all well within reason. I think that this game shapes up to be one that they'll have to use him. Serge Ibaka just isn't that good right now. Patrick Patterson is never good. I don't know why Dwayne Casey sees that as being a good alternative to playing Jonas Valanciunas. Jakob Poeltl's getting some minutes, but not enough that you're really feeling threatened about what Valanciunas should be able to do tonight. So while not completely safe, he's still got a really nice ceiling. So once again, our top three value plays are Tony Parker, Brandan Wright, Jonas Valanciunas. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to hit subscribe in the box below. Head over to researchfantasy.com, subscribe to our NBA mailing list, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Research and Win, and join us again tomorrow.